family. How are y'all doing today? This is Cam again, your host, coming to you once again, live on Camcast for another episode. It's great to see each and every one of you again. Once again, for a second, thank you to all of my returning users, or I wouldn't say users, but returning family, fans, people that continue to come back and basically support the show. And of course, welcome to any new family that we have in the audience. You're always welcome. Please continue to join in and tune in and give your perspective and join the conversation. So yeah, once again, like I said, it's great to see all of you again. And here I am. So today, I'm very excited to hop in today's topic. And of course, without further ado, let's get started. I believe that this is probably the first time I have sported a sport coat on here before. If you recall another one, or even if you want to go check, I'm not encouraging anybody to do so. However, I think this is the first time I've done it. So if I have, though, let me know in the comments. You can even let me know in the comments what you think about this one. It's not new, but yeah. So I have a tan coat, purple shirt, kind of more of a chill vibe. It's a different fit today. Kind of a newer style-ish, sort of. Yeah, so have our blue tie. And of course, well, they're the trousers that I have on are matching the coat. So they are basically blue and I want to say wheat. You can say gold if you want, but a navy. Some navy gray and white socks, and some penny loafers. So I think I talked about those before, how at one time I was getting really big into them, and then over time I kind of drifted away from them for a while and went to like the string shoed Oxfords, and now I'm kind of back to those. Great style, what can I say? They speak about me, and you all can find your shoe. So yeah, yes, I actually am still into sneakers. I recently got a nice pair. Well, not recently, but a while back, I got a nice pair for a steal price. So yeah, want to have a conversation about that. Actually, I'll try to even put that and include that in my next video. I can't actually say which ones they were until I do show the show and reveal it to you all, which I cannot wait to do. But we're gonna say that for the next one now. So yeah, this shirt that I have on, I believe, is actually called an Oxford shirt. Has a little pocket there, and of course it has our button collar there, and of course I got my button cuffs. I don't know if y'all can see that, but yeah. So got my pocket square here, notch lapel up there, and we're rolling. So with that being said, today I believe our topic is going to be about power. 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 What does that word mean to you all? What comes to mind when you hear it, or when you say it, or even when you see it, or hear someone else say it? Power, 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 power. I was recently having a discussion the other day about some of the things that we may give power to, or things of that nature, and some things that, whether it could be kids or adults, things that we might give rise to, as far as like exercising more energy, as far as to take someone out of their element, as opposed to basically building them up. Let's put it that way. So yeah, so I got the definition here for you. I decided to take out the time to look it up. I'm going to read two of them for you. The noun of the word power would be the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality, i.e. the power of speech. Second definition, the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. How about that? So yeah, good definition. So power to me is like another form of speaking on, like a form of magic, if you will. It's like the influence or that like invisible cord to kind of like just basically cast a spell on, like, whether it be a crowd, a particular person, something that either might draw someone to you or repel somebody away from you. So with that being said, you're probably wondering, well, what does that kind of have to do with today's lesson or today's conversation? Basically, what are ways that you feel like, or people that you feel like you might have, I wouldn't say power over, but things that you find that, okay, with this situation or that situation, I discovered that there was either power used or no power used, and honestly, it can either be that. I know it kind of sounds a bit more like manipulation, but it's not. It's basically just, it's a level of work, in my opinion. That's kind of the basis of what goes behind it. So in other words, it's like, if you do the work, in other words, it's something that you will achieve. I'm, for one, not really someone who really goes for that, as far as like, by if you accomplish something or do something for it, you may get a typical or somewhat response, but if it's obvious that you're expecting or trying to elicit a bigger shockwave, it's just not gonna happen. So, but anyway, that's just me personally. But I've seen it to where we can talk about what leaders, even cult leaders, ministers, pastors, singers, even. I've seen it to where people have come up to tell people that your music has, well, by singers, they don't necessarily have to be famous. They could be just like a choir director or somebody who is leading a choir, or like a soloist, if you will, in like a church choir or something. They can have a certain effect over the crowd to where it's like they really get drawn in, even spiritually, to what the person or soloist is singing about, or even the choir as a mass. So basically, also another way to look at it is that, why is it that we might find ourselves basically giving power to take away from someone, as much as when we could be doing the opposite? So in other words, if you feel like, and if you understand and you can see that someone is trying to help you or provide some type of assistance, or trying to nurture you in a certain way, or trying to create something on their own that in turn can possibly benefit you somehow in some particular way, why is it that many of us may look at it as we have a negative view on it, and that could be the maybe past trauma, past experiences, past tension, or something from other events in our lives that we could be using to exercise in this case. But my thing is, by doing this, you're giving power to those particular situations, and you're bringing it to this. It's just a simple word called happiness, and I think that, of course, we should kind of spread that to one another. When you're talking about toxic situations, in my opinion, I find them draining. Some people, I think, actually gain their power from toxic situations. Therefore, they try to create them as much as possible. So, it's just something to think about, something to talk about, something to marinate about. If you have any thoughts, you can let me know below. And speaking of which, it's a good time to say, please like, comment, and subscribe. and let us know how you like the show today. But yes, that is something that I notice a lot. Even whenever I might go watch like another person's podcast, or whether it be like a famous talk show or whatever that actually may air on television, and they may place on like social media platforms just so that people can watch them who may not have time during the day to see the live as it's taking place. And I'll just check out some of the comments, and I'll notice how like basically they are just busy, basically taking shots. Normally, of course, this is a form of attention that's basically that's pushing the user, or well, basically the user, to continue to say these things about these people on here that are honestly doing an incredible job most of the time. They're there. That's all that really matters. But yes, I think that we should be a bit more mindful of how we pretty much respond to creative people. And of course, some are probably thinking, well, if it wasn't for the dirt, I guess, that might be poured onto certain situations to help others blossom, you have to weed out those that cannot stand up to adversity to know who's really built to be where, and if how are they going to be prepared to succeed on a certain level. Well, what you're speaking about technically is life. If a person is talented, they're talented. If they're not, then they're not. That doesn't take anything away from the particular person or the subject that we're talking about. However, their whole ride doesn't have to be that way. So give that some thought. My attention has been pointed to the fact that most individuals can use as much help as that they can get. I hear about this constantly over and over again about how much attention may be shown to certain groups of individuals involving maybe certain situations. I'm not saying that that's a problem. That's fantastic. However, are we understanding? Usually my next question is, what is the outcome of some of these things? Are we understanding how these things are supposed to and going to are two different things. Supposed to benefit is a target that never gets met, or a goal that may never get met. However, going to means that your goal was to do this, but unfortunately, you do have a plan B and plan C of things that can take place, or things that will most likely take place. Let's put it that way. And it'll usually wind up being that. So I'm a little less motivated by this side than I am by this side. And usually whenever they're brought to my attention, my ideas tend to actually get put in this pool over here, thinking that, well, if you really wanted to make a difference or whatnot, actually this would probably help more. Let's kind of give this some more thought and think about what we're doing, and if it's actually going to improve someone's lives. Because normally they can, and they usually claim they have positive results from what they brainstormed or what it is that they're trying to put together. However, whenever you speak to someone that may have been involved, or a different perspective of someone that was aware of it but actually has more details on what took place, they're not on the same page. And there's never a clear answer as to what took place. So, in other words, there's also called basically choppy power that takes place in that too. If you've seen any examples of this, you can share that with us as well, and we'll be happy to hear from you. And also, any of you that may have your own personal definitions of power, or maybe a definition that you research that is maybe more in-depth or more explanatory, then please share that with us as well. And as always, it was once again great to see you all. I hope that didn't keep you too long, and I hope today you really enjoyed today's discussion on power, and we go out and continue to make things happen. So, without further ado, I look forward to seeing you all next time with another freshie coming out, and I hope you all enjoy it. And please let me know any of our newer people, any suggestions you might have, anything you liked about the show, and we hope to see you next time. So, everybody, I wish you a great day, and I will see you again. Have a good one.